coming here. Welcome back to part 2 of the Langrisser news from the future, featuring September to October hero Xion or Xian. I'm not sure how to really pronounce it. We have to wait it on the demo play to check out his name. So based on my understanding, it should be pronounced as Xion. And before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app. Are you guys ready? Here we go. And don't worry guys, watch to the end for the translated version that I've done for you guys. It probably might not be what you'll be seeing on Google Translate. It may be funny or it may be not. Alright, let's check out Xion. So I gotta say, it is very cool. He's just wearing pants and I'm not sure, did you call that sleeve or something that's tying around his neck? But yep, he's an assassin, so he's not wearing too much of a clothes. And yep, this September to October we are getting 2 guys. One is an Ikemen and one is a legal Shota. Alright, his faction is from Origin of Light, Meteor and Strategy. And going to his talent, oh gosh, it's so long. And I gotta say, I prefer Leo Bex more because his talent is short, sweet and easy to understand. So nonetheless, well, we gotta carry on. So alright, Xion's talent is Blood-Seeking Spinning Blade. So it's gonna be pretty long, so you gotta bear with me guys. So alright, increase crit rate and crit damage by 25%. Ooh, that's cool. After dealing damage to enemy, apply a layer of cracked wounds or lacerations to the enemy. The cracked wounds effect are as follow. When enemy end their turn, they will receive a fixed damage based on 0.5 times the attack of the caster. This effect can stack up to 5 times, last 2 turns, and the fixed damage cannot be immune. Whoa, this is like a assassin type of upgrade of Betty. This is almost give me the vibe like this is what Betty will be like if she become an assassin. Whoa. And next, when using straight line AoE skills, apply at the furthest range a 2-turn terrain effect. The terrain is being named as Spinning Blade. It has the following effect. Spinning Blade effect is if enemies stand at one ring or circle around Spinning Blade when they end their turn, they receive a fixed damage based on 1 times the caster attack. Do note that Spinning Blade has a higher terrain coverage priority, meaning his this is terrain class that's the same as Carol Leon's 3C ability that is known as a higher, so you're gonna have higher coverage than characters like Helena's and Licorice terrain's coverage. And when you end your turn and if there are spinning blade on a field, you can choose to retrieve all spinning blades which will travel back to the caster. And if on the way back, if the spinning blades pass through an enemy, it will deal 0.1 times AoE damage to them. If the same enemy is hit multiple times, the following damage will be reduced by 40%. So if you have four blades at the same time, you're supposed to deal 40%, then followed by 60% and thus far. So each blade for the same enemy will be reduced by 40% each time. So yeah. And after retrieving the blades, there will be a CD of 1 turn before you can retrieve spinning blades again. So yep, it's pretty long and thus we will be going through again. Alright, so number 1, increase crit rate and crit damage by 25%. Number 2, after dealing damage to an enemy, apply a layer of cracked wounds or lacerations to the enemy. I'm gonna go with cracked wounds. So point 1, when enemy end their turn, they will receive fixed damage based on 0.5 times the attack of the caster. This effect can be stacked up to 5 times, last 2 turns, and the fixed damage cannot be immune. Number 3, when using straight line AoE skills, apply at a furthest range a 2-turn terrain spinning blade effect. If enemies stand at one ring or circle around a spinning blade when they end their turn, they'll receive a fixed damage of 1 times the caster attack. Do know that spinning blade has a higher terrain coverage priority. Number 4, if you end turn and there are spinning blade on a field, you can choose to retrieve all the spinning blade, which will travel back to the caster. And on the way back, if the spinning blades pass through an enemy, it will deal 0.515 times AoE damage to them. If a same enemy is hit multiple times, each following damage will be reduced by 40%. Do note that after retrieving the blades, there will be a cooldown of 1 turn before you can retrieve spinning blades again. So it's pretty long, and this is the talent for rank 6, and as usual on this part we'll be only going through on his exclusive new skills. The rest will be on the demo play. So let's first check out his path. So he has assassin, okay, and archer, so that's the usual stuff. Okay. Alright, his first path. Second class, you get his new skills. Is exclusive skill 1 is known as rotating spinning blade. It's a type physical AoE, and yep. So most of his skills has a lot of words with blade or spinning tying around. Alright, very straightforward. So choose a straight line direction at the end and choose another direction to extend the AoE range and deal 0.2 times damage, AoE damage to enemies in range. The 2 directions will always make up or form an L-shaped direction. So what does this skills actually means, in case you guys don't get it, is a straight line AoE. You're going to choose a straight line direction, and then followed by you're going to choose either left or right, and thus it will mix an L-shaped directions. So the range does not end at just 5 or 6 squares or tiles. After 5 or 6 square or tiles, you can extend another 4 squares or tiles in a stated directions. Though I gotta say the damage deal is pretty low, it's just 0.2 times. So to make him strong or great, you gotta pump a lot of stats for him, or you gotta give good enchantment for him. Then okay, first class third path, his exclusive skill 2, known as flying blade spin shot. Again, its type is physical AoE. So you gotta attack and deal 0.25 times AoE damage to enemies in a straight line directions. Then you apply a layer of crack wounds to enemies' hit. And after using these skills, you will be able to teleport to defensive terrain 2 squares or tiles around you. So it's, again, his second exclusive skills is kind of meh to me. It's very weird. Again, based on descriptions, let's repeat again and go through first. Number 1, you attack and deal 0.25 times AoE damage to enemies in a straight line. Number 2, apply a layer of crack wounds to enemies' hit. And 3, after using these skills, teleport to defensive terrains 2 squares or tiles around you. I mean, so that's it. So for 1 and 2, it's, for 1, the damage is reduced by 0.05 times. Like usually for most enemy, they will be dealing like 0.3 times as of the current meta, but only 2.5 times. Though I cannot blame because of number 2, applying the crack wounds to enemies, meaning they will take on fixed damage later. So, but number 3 is the teleportation skills that only allow you to teleport to defensive terrains, 2 squares or tiles around you. So